Did Elon Musk make a huge mistake? I think I missed this whenever Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan podcast, because I did a whole breakdown of the Joe Rogan podcast the last time he was on, and I think I might have missed this. This was a big mistake by me for missing it, but we're going to break it all down. Did he make a mistake? And what he said, I did not go after exposing the corruption enough. And that is what we're going to isolate, focus in, zero in on in this podcast. My name is Brandon Fogel. This is Evolution. So let's just dive into it. And we're going to take a few different angles at it and try to break it down, what this means and why is there just an implosion of the matrix happening. If you were at all caught up in what was happening today, Tesla, the stock is just plummeting. I don't know how far it's going to go down, but it's going down a lot, and everybody is piling on Elon Musk. Also, the stock market's just going crazy, and not in a good way. And just people are attacking Tesla. If you're familiar with this, they're just slashing tires, just destroying any Teslas that are out there. Is this a coordinated attack? Everything on the left is always coordinated, so let's not fool ourselves there. And we're going to take a look at a couple clips. I'm going to look at this also because this is what it reminded me of. Rush Limbaugh. If anyone out there is... It's been a few years now since Rush Limbaugh has passed away, and we lost that greatness that we had with Rush Limbaugh, somebody that could break it down better than any other conservative out there and make arguments simple and easy to understand, but sometimes not easy enough for the left, the ones that he was basically going against. And this is the quote that we're going to look at. I'm going to pull it up. I might just read it here just before we dive into it, and then I'll throw it on the screen so you can see it as well. And then we'll take a look at the Elon Musk sit down with Joe Rogan and what I'm talking about, what we might have missed on. All right, so this is back in 2016. And I had to go to the archives and try to find this quote. And I'm sure Rush said it many times in many different ways, because somebody that is great at what they do, they're able to say it in a lot of different ways and drive home a different perspective of the point of he's driving home. But this is the best version of it that I could find, and it's from back in 2016 with Rush. And I'm gonna read what the caller said, who called in and was speaking to Rush, and what he said to Rush, just so we can relive it a little bit. I pulled this from rushlimbaugh.com back in 2016. You can find all the archives, the quotes, all the good stuff from that website. All right, I'm just going to start off from what Rush said. Rush says, "Thank you very much, sir." And this is the caller. He says, the caller is speaking. He says, "Absolutely. Listen, about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, you had a caller on the show that said something to the effect that people listen to Trump, but they don't really hear what he's saying. And that's something I've been saying about you for over the last 20 years. People just don't listen to what, or the Democrats simply just don't listen to what the Republicans/conservatives say. There's got to be some kind of mechanism there that does not allow them to do that outside of their political positions. What do you think? I'm interested in knowing, what do you think that position is? How do we get them to the point where they actually hear what conservatives are saying as opposed to just listening to us?" And here's the big man himself. He responds. Rush says, "Well, I don't think we can. I think the attitude needs to be, we need to defeat them, not accommodate them, not try to persuade them. If they come along of their own volition, fine, we accept them. But they are the epitome of bigotry and prejudice." The caller says, "Absolutely." Rush says, "They live in a cocoon, and the shelter of the cocoon is lie after lie, as after lie, that gives them comfort. They are comfortable in these misrepresentations, distortions, and mistakes about their opponents. It's one of the ways in which they feel valid and relevant is to think that all the rest of us who disagree with them are contemptible and mean and all that, and we're not worth understanding or getting to know." As you can see, just reading in the shadow of Rush Limbaugh, one of the greats, if not the greatest out there that we've ever experienced. You can see I was very getting tongue-tied. Maybe just being in I loved Rush Limbaugh, and I'm sure many out there that hear this loved Rush Limbaugh and still love him and still listen to all the things he said. But this is one that really stood out to me, one that has really resonated with me for a long time. And it was brought home and reminded to me with all that is happening with Elon Musk right now. You could say everyone out there. You could say Trump. You could say Andrew Tate. You could say even Joe Rogan to an extent. But right now, the crosshairs are on Elon Musk. And he's definitely brought this on himself. He is the one who has stuck his neck out on the line for Trump, for America, for freedom. And when we're thinking about like the left, the liberal left, the ones that want, this isn't liberals. Liberals can be a great thing, but this is people that are not willing to give an inch to freedom of speech and freedom of thought. Free thinking. This is about free thinking and not being able where you can't step out of a party line. If you step out saying anything that who your affiliation disagrees with, that they're going to completely just demolish you, cancel you, destroy you. That is what we are talking about. And that is what Rush Limbaugh for years, decades combated. And he left us with, this is the Elon, and we're going to take a look at what Elon Musk said in the clip with Joe Rogan. I'm sure you've seen it. Whenever I had my breakdown, right after listening to Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, their recent encounter and sit down and podcast together. This one went under the radar for me. And I know a lot of people out there this clip has been out there. People have seen it over and over. I'm sure it's not going to be anything new to you. But I'm going to talk about in this episode something different. Like maybe Elon might have shot himself in the foot in a big way. All right, let me see if I can start pushing some buttons and see what we can do. All right, here we go. We're going to jump over to, all right, here, hopefully that stays up there. All right, and there's that quote, and the big man himself, Rush Limbaugh, on the screen, you can see right there. There's that quote. We must defeat them, defeat them, defeat them. All right, let's just listen to this clip from Elon and what he had to say with Joe Rogan.
And what other methods?
I mean, this is really going to get me assassinated. It's like, I'm not lengthening my lifespan by explaining this stuff, to say the least. I mean, I was supposed to go back to DC. How am I going to survive? These fuckers are going to kill me for sure. So, in fact, I do think like it's like, I actually have to be careful that I don't push too hard on the corruption stuff because it's going to get me killed, Yeah. It's like, I was actually thinking about that on the plane flight over here. It's like, if I push too hard on the corruption stuff, people get desperate is the issue.
Right.
Then they say like, okay, if the money flow cuts off, then okay, they can't afford.
Okay. You get it. There it is. There's what Elon said. He said, if I expose the corruption, if I push too hard, it's going to get me killed. I'm going to get assassinated. And they're getting in his head. They're getting in the area. And this just completely blew past me. I did not even think about this whenever I saw this because I'm like, yeah, I get it, Elon. I'd be the same way. But that is the critical mistake that he is making. Do not back out. Do not back off. Do not back down. Do not show any weakness. Do not show any that you are not going to go far enough. Even if they're saying they're going to kill you, even if they say they're going to assassinate you and you have that fear in your mind and that fear in you're starting to think about it. Like, they ain't gonna stop. They're not gonna back off. And if you show weakness, they're gonna smell blood and they're gonna come at you harder, which we are seeing right now. We are seeing. It's just interesting to me that this happened this quickly after he had said that. And I completely missed it. I'm not saying the left or even the far left are evil or anything like that. But there is possession, there is demonic activity, there's a lot of stuff out there that happens, and spiritual forces, that is real, that is behind the scenes pushing things, pulling strings and all that, and influencing people, I would say this ideology that is on the far left that just wants to destroy people, that is from not the good team. That's not from the good team that is out there. There's good and evil. We cannot escape that. And if you cover your eyes to it and you try to not think about it, you're blinding yourself and you're not open to what is reality. There is good. There is evil. It is a thing. It is real. And destruction and destroying people is not from the good side. But the only way you can fight back is if you unrelenting go at that side and don't back down. Because if you show weakness, and I've thought about this many times, and just in my spiritual walk, my walk as a believer, if I show any weakness to the evil one, to the one that wants to destroy me and my soul, and I say, okay, I'll give you that, I'll concede that, I won't be that far out there and try to want to do good. I'll back down a little bit. I won't be as out front, open and honest about Jesus Christ and who he is. And I'll back it down. I'll give you that. Satan doesn't just say, okay, we're good. Hell no. Satan, he will come unrelenting. He will see blood and he'll want to rip my throat out and kill me. He will not stop. He will not stop. And this is the same thing with the radical left ideology, the ones that want to just completely destroy those who are for freedom of speech, for free thinking, people being able to live a life that is not bowing the knee of just this radical woke ideology that just wants to eviscerate people and has no mercy, has no grace. Satan does not have any mercy or any grace. And if you're on a side that is seemingly on that side, on the dark side, because it is, things come out and you can clearly see what is of the good side and what is of the bad side. You can clearly see it. You can clearly see it if your eyes are open and you're willing to see it. You can't hide your eyes and cover your eyes and not see the things that are out there that are just clawing for the soul of our nation, the soul of people in general, and just individuals. So if you give an inch, Satan will take it all. He'll take it all. He will not back down. And I know, and I know I'm blending these things because it's of the same fountain, you know? The radical left that wants to do this, it's not from a good source. It's not from something that is good, but it's from something that is really, really bad and wants to destroy people. So I think we got to call a spade a spade. We can't back down. And Elon Musk, he made a mistake, but I think he should go full throttle and what he knows is right. And I mean, Elon Musk, he's not a perfect guy. He's I'm thinking he knows people. He knows the things that are unseen in the darkness that are happening because he has it right before him. He has documents before him. He knows what's happening in kind of like the higher rung of society, the ones that have those powerful strings that they pull on humanity and on our culture. He sees what happens at the top levels. He knows that. And he's not a perfect guy. He's got secrets of his own, I'm sure. You know? But he is all about exposing, you know, what is out there. Exposing and do it full throttle. Put the pedal to the metal. Don't back down. This is just my call basically to Elon. Don't back down. Don't show weakness because they're not going to back down. Don't think that I'm not going to expose all the corruption that is out there. Expose it all. I mean, all this stuff is going to come to light eventually. Why not now? Why not now? Just let it all come out. Let it all come out and be on the winning side, be on the good side for humanity in history. And I think Elon's doing that, you know, and I just say, don't back down. Don't back down, Elon. So, but what are your thoughts? Let me know, put it in the comments, and we'll leave it at that. I'm in